Hello there, What Culture football fans. I'm Adam Wilborn from What Culture, the Alexi Lalas of What Culture, joined by Andy Murray, the Frank LeBeuf of What Culture.
I'll do it, Frank LeBeuf, that's all right.
With some more big football transfer news, or at least transfer rumours, with Chelsea apparently being reported as meeting with Juventus in Nice, where they are both playing the International Champions Cup. Big trophy.
Yeah.
They met with Juventus to offer Alvaro Morata and £55 million for forward Gonzalo Higuain and defender Daniele Rugani. This was reported, by the way, by Italian journalist Alfredo Pedula.
Oh, him, yeah.
Andy Murray, what do you make about all this sensational swap deal?
Before we get into this, what the hell is going on with Chelsea this summer? It feels like there's a new big rumour every single day. In 1 minute Hazard's leaving, 1 minute Courtois is leaving, then this guy's coming in, Willian's leaving. It's absolutely mental. It's been an absolute blast to watch as well, to see it all unfold. This is an interesting deal. I think it ticks a couple of boxes for them. Rugani, obviously, is a younger, classier centre-back than perhaps what they already have on the books. He's slotting nicely. Morata for Higuain. You're kind of swapping a bit of potential there for someone who is obviously one of the better centre-forwards in the world right now. It's a lot to give up. I mean...
It's interesting because obviously Juventus... it's a big loss for them losing those two big players. Apparently, they might be bringing back Leonardo Bonucci from AC Milan. So Rugani, the loss of Rugani is kind of tempered by that. And obviously, Morata for Higuain. Morata wants to go back to Italy, wants to play in Serie A. He's been linked with AC Milan.
And of course, he's played a bit for Juventus before, a couple of seasons ago.
It would make sense. I like it. I think it makes sense for all the clubs. I mean, it's it's a huge deal if you can get this organised.
Yeah.
But it's one of those, isn't it? Juventus need to recoup some of that money they've spent on Ronaldo because people seem to see that he sells loads of shirts and think that's pretty much paid it all off, not understanding how selling of shirts works. You don't get all the money from selling shirts. But I can see this actually coming off. This as much as this is ridiculous football manager-esque transfers. Like you say, it kind of works for both clubs involved. It screws over AC Milan a little bit, but it works for everyone involved. No?
Yeah, no, I think so. I mean, poor old AC. I used to love AC Milan. Remember when they had all those great players back in the day? Seems like such a long time ago. I think, I totally agree. Like I said, Chelsea get a nice, young, exciting young defender who maybe hasn't pushed on like Juventus would have hoped, and they don't necessarily need him as much as they did, despite Chiellini and Barzali aging. Bonucci comes back, that's tremendous. They've also got Mati Caldara, who's been on loan at Atalanta for the past couple of seasons. Higuain is kind of, you're trading the present for the future there, I think. I don't know how many effective seasons Chelsea are really going to get out of him, as good as he is. But Sarri, if he gets these transfers through, man, obviously he's going to have a very exciting team next season. His style of football is crazy. I'm excited to see how it all pans out.
It's interesting for Sarri because, obviously they brought Jorginho in, who's a former Napoli player. And, it seems very good in pre-season from what we've heard.
Yes.
And he's worked with Rugani in the past, so that would make sense as well. And it does seem like by doing this, he's almost putting his own stamp on the side. Like you say, Morata for Higuain is a bit like for like. Yes, Higuain is more proven, but Morata is a prospect and started last season well. Yes, obviously he had overall kind of a disappointing season. I think
patchy, very
11
patchy.
Premier League goals all in all. Certainly after January, a big disappointment. But it seems as though that if this does go through and they bring in Rugani and they bring in Higuain, I think the perception from everyone else of Chelsea would be much improved because it feels like, rather than just bringing Jorginho and hoping Morata is transformed in pre-season, they've gone, we're going to get some proven winners in here and hope that they can, get back to where they were. I did a video the other day about the 5 problems he needs to fix, and this could be part of it, especially with all these departures, with Hazard, Courtois, and potentially Willian all going.
Yeah, so absolutely. The manager has to be assertive. If he can play 2 games. Either he can bring in a load of players that he's worked with before and he knows will fit his system, but then you have the concern, will they all fit in? Or he can work with the players he already has and try and get them to adapt, which is risky because they may never adapt and then he'll be gone by Christmas. What he seems to be doing is a combination of both, in that he's obviously brought in Jorginho, if he brings in Rugani and Higuain, that's another couple of guys who are used to playing that way. There have been a lot of reports about Chelsea in pre-season. They have already adapted to Sarri's ways. They're defending on the halfway line, lots of mental pressing, lots of passing, lots of fast-flowing attacking football. Whether or not they can do that in a competitive environment or how long it'll take them to adapt obviously remains to be seen. but they're setting up for a very, very fun season.
Certainly with the season 2 weeks away.
Yeah, it's mental.
Very exciting. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below about this deal for Chelsea and this deal for Juventus. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. You can check out more of our videos here, and you can head over to whatculture.com now for more news, updates and opinions. My thanks to Frank. I've been Alexi, and we will see you soon.